A man claims that he was abducted by extraterrestrial reptilians in 2018 and held in a hospital in Earth orbit. And this story was recently submitted to the website of American researcher Lon Stickler. And the author has the initials JJ, did not want to give his name. He wanted some kind of anonymity. Strickler later contacted him at the phone number on the letter, but JJ did not want to add more personal information to his story. He said only that after this incident, he's still under the supervision of a doctor due to his nervous tension. I don't know where to start, he says, and to be honest, I've been hesitant to talk about it, but I think an account of my experience should be published. I don't want any fame or money or anything like that, and I don't want to talk about it again because it still scares me. This happened in the first week of June 2018 near the city of Naples, Florida. Me and my friend stayed in the same room in the hotel. I went to bed around 11 p.m. when my friend was already sleeping in the next bed. There was nothing out of the ordinary. Suddenly I woke up and realized that I was not in the room but in another room. It was like a hospital room because I was lying on what it looked like a hospital bed, but there was no way I was in the hospital, that's for sure. And then I noticed that the walls were dark in color and seemed to be made of metal. I know they don't do that in hospitals, so I was scared. I tried to figure out where I was, and the more I noticed, the more scared and disoriented I became. When I looked to my right, I saw two humanoids in white robes, and then two more at the foot of my bed. To my left sat a man in a chair. He certainly looked like a human, but looked like a woman. This person looked like a woman. And then I realized that I could not move, almost like sleep paralysis. It was like being in a coma, only I was fully aware of everything that was happening. I could see and hear everything around me. The woman in the chair sitting up to the left of my bed started telling me to stay calm and that it would be all over soon. Obviously, these are demonic entities, obviously, don't you think? Then he put a needle in my left arm like an IV, but the needle looked different. There was nothing on the needle to hold it in place, which I found unusual. The needle was made of an unknown metal that glittered strangely. Then I started to panic. One of the humanoid creatures standing at the foot of the bed held a lamp in his hand, what appeared to be an LED lamp on a long wire. They told me that with the help of this device they were decrypting who I was. The lamp was then pointing to the sole of my left foot. I felt no pain but immediately lost consciousness. I woke up in the same place, not knowing how much time had passed. Now I was alone in the room. Then someone entered the room, but I did not understand how, since I did not see the door. And then somehow I got up and went somewhere. I realized I had left the room and was now standing in the hallway. On one side was a flat wall of dark metal, and there was also a door. I opened it and I saw a room similar to the one I came from. I closed the door and walked further down the hall, passing several other similar rooms along the way. At the end of the corridor, I found myself in a room with a giant window that was about 20 feet tall, 6 meters, and 50 feet wide, 15 meters. I went to the window and saw clouds and the distant surface of the earth. I thought it was like we were in orbit around the planet. Only then did I realize that I had been abducted and that I was in some sort of orbital craft, and I panicked. Then I looked around and saw humanoids walking nearby. They definitely were not human. Their skin was olive in color and looked moist, but it was actually dry like a lizard's. Their faces looked like humans, but I would say reptilian, and I also noticed something like gills on their cheeks. They were quite tall, about 7 feet, and muscular. They were not wearing clothes or uniforms, but I could not tell what gender they were. I approached one of them and asked, "Is all this true?" But he did not answer, but grabbed me by my hand and took me and looked at me with his eyes. And the next thing I remember, I was waking up on my bedroom floor in Miami. I was in a state of shock. Then I felt nauseous and chills. I looked at the arm where the needle was stuck into me and saw a small incision there. Then I looked at my watch and it was 11:10 in the morning, but I did not know what day it was. I felt exhausted and didn't want to do anything except want to sleep. Then it turned out that I lost about 36 hours. I also discovered a bruise on the bottom of my left leg where the light bulb touched it. I contacted a friend, the friend I was staying with at the hotel, and he said that he said that he called me, but the call went straight to voicemail. I checked my phone, but found no incoming messages on it. I have no idea what happened then, but my life has changed since then. I have become extremely anxious for no apparent reason, and also feel that I may be kidnapped again in the future. This is absurd. This is really something astonishing. I remember once a priest asked me, "Do you believe in extraterrestrials?" I said, "I believe they're demonic entities." He said, "Well, what happens if one of them ever abducted you? What would you say?" I would say, "Get away from me. You have no authority over me. I belong to Jesus Christ." I would mention the name Jesus Christ, and hopefully they will go away. So, please leave your comments about this. This I've translated from the Greek article. Thank you. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.